name is Gavin Davidson. The social media / web manager for Bowling Green's Human Movement Studies and of Leisure and Sports. And today we're doing our profile on Miss Rebecca Osan. How you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, thank you for being along. Miss Becca, you have a lot of different hats for the department, and we wanted to talk to you and get to know you and get to know what you do.
Oh, sounds good. I do wear many hats.
Okay. First, what is your major?
I am a second year in kinesiology.
Okay, and where did you go before you came here?
So I went to my undergrad at Baldwin Wallace. It's a little D3 college in Berea, Ohio. I was a double major in athletic training and exercise science.
Okay, and what made you choose kinesiology?
Kinesiology is basically a big umbrella of what I want to do for my career. I want to be an athletic trainer. So kines is kind of that first stepping ladder of getting to where I want to be.
Okay, and do you have any background in athletics?
Like, was I an athlete? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I was briefly for many different things. I used to, in high school, I was a varsity tennis player. I did color guard for 7 years. Recently, in my junior year of college, I did boxing, Muay Thai. I was part of BG's judo club, and I'm still pursuing martial arts, but just for my own leisure.
And what belt do you have?
So I don't do specific belts because I do I like to focus more on Muay Thai, which is kickboxing.
Mm-hmm.
So like that focuses more on like your skill level instead of like belt wise.
So what would be your skill level?
I can kick really high to my head and like knock someone out. So I don't know, that's as good as it can get. I'm still learning a lot though. It's not that impressive.
Well, I mean, hey, it's better than most probably. So, what brings you to BG?
It was actually a fluke
A
that I
fluke?
came to Bowling Green. I was in my senior year of my undergrad, and
Mm-hmm.
usually as an athletic trainer, you have to have your certification to continue working.
Mm-hmm.
I have not possessed my certification yet, but I am in transit to studying. But I have taken the exam and I haven't passed yet, but that's a different story, and I am looking past that.
Mm-hmm.
And my professor, Dr. Walters, at the time, she got her PhD from Bowling Green, who actually used to work for the journal, and kind of told me as a caveat, she was like, we need someone for the journal, and I know you don't know what you're doing after graduation. I think it'd be such a good opportunity for you to apply. I needed a change of pace due to everything that was going on in my life personally and through just graduating. So I decided to apply for Bowling Green on a whim, take my GRE, and I got in and I got accepted for the position. So it was all very on a whim.
Sometimes the best things happen on a whim, right?
I feel like my whole life is a whim, so it just fit very personally.
Okay, you just talked about journal. It's a journal of sports medicine and allied health services sciences, correct?
Yes, allied science is.
Okay, and what do you do there, or what's your job description?
So I'm the managing editor. It's basically a very fancy term of a communication for everyone. So for an example, this is the process of the journal. So we have many different authors that want to publish. They send in the manuscript to us. I get the first round of it. I, of course, am talking to the head director of it, which is Dr. Coots, and of course I'm talking to junior editors and different managing team when I do need it. But we get a manuscript. I do the backbone of it. I see if the manuscript is good to send to peer reviewers, if it's in the format that we like, if there's anything missing. I go through my whole checklist. I send it to the peer reviewers. The peer reviewers have up to 21 days to send back that peer review and tell me exactly what they think of the manuscript. From those two peer reviewers, I then go into the process and say, if we accept as it is, except with minor revisions, accept with major revisions, or reject the manuscript in total. And there's a lot of different things that go into all of that, but that's basically how it is. I communicate with authors, I communicate with peer reviewers, I communicate with my head team. Sometimes it feels like I'm the glue, but I'm just a cog in the machine.
So, how often does the journal print?
We print I think that's how it's called. But we basically, next week, I'm actually going to be printing our fall issue. I have to email all the authors for their final words. But we usually print a fall issue, a spring issue, and then a summer abstract issue. So that corresponds with the OATA convention. And that's the Ohio Athletic Training. It's their convention that they have, so we have an abstract contest, and those are always published.
Okay. And how do people get a copy of it?
You just go on our journal website.
What's the website?
So you just type in, the best way to find it, you go on Google, type in the Journal of Sports Medicine and Allied Health Sciences. We're usually the second that pops up. You see the Bowling Green icon, and you can look on our website. Every issue is published.
Okay. Okay, let's switch to your other hat. You are the representative for the Graduate Senate. Tell me about your role on that.
As a Graduate Senate, I was actually introduced this to my first year from a second year Adrian. She wore many hats. I think a little more hats than I do. But basically what Graduate Student Senate is a safe way for heads of departments of master's programs and PhD programs to come together from Bowling Green to talk about issues concerning graduate college. So if there's issues of this department needs a specific grant, or these students aren't getting the specific resources they need, we come together as a committee and see what we can do. We also have different subcommittees. I was just congratulated on my committee of self-care. So we have different hats within GSS, and it's just to make sure that graduate students have the tools that they need.
Okay. And how often do the Senate meet?
We meet, I think it's how you say bi-weekly. We meet every 2 weeks.
Okay.
So it's 2-hour meeting, so it's from 3 to 5, and we just talk about old business and new business. And we usually have 2 presenters come in each time. So it can either be something about diversity, or it can be something with on campus. We even had someone talking about writing. We had someone talk about voting in the next election. So it's very well-rounded, and usually me as a Senate member, whatever I find the most important, I usually communicate back to HMSLS.
Okay. And we're going to talk a little bit about you at school. What has been your favorite class so far?
My first year, I really liked, oh my gosh, I'm kicking myself that I can't think of his name right now. I think no. I'm kicking myself right now because I can't think of his name, but he's awesome. It was my first class in fall, and it was exercise physiology. It was personally one of my classes I enjoyed as an undergrad. It was a very big turnaround class for me. So to just have that again at the grad level was fabulous.
Okay. And you have any specific faculty that you want to show your appreciation for?
All of them. We have the best faculty anyone can ask for. I've worked from some of the finest professors I've ever had. And even now working with Dr. Coots is my advisor. He's fantastic. Also VK, shout out to her. They are both working hopefully with me on my project. Gosh, there's so many good people. I'm blanking on some people's names. Dr. Kiss is awesome. Dr. Fulenkamp. Everyone in the department is so great to work with. Dr. Darby's on top of my head. Dr. Morgan. So many phenomenal professors that we have, and they're all so understanding, and they're so willing to work with everyone.
Yeah, it's a great faculty. So there anything you want to say to the people that are big Becca supporters?
I'm trying to be my own supporter, so if you guys support me, that's awesome. If not, that's okay too. I'm just really thankful for all the opportunities I've received. I'm really excited to dive more into hopefully what my project will be so that I can graduate, but we will see.
Okay. And lastly, how could your fans reach you? Yeah, how can they follow you?
You can follow me via Instagram or have a Facebook. My Instagram is really weird. It's KOOKIEDO_01. That's at Cookie Dough. Or you can follow me on Facebook. Rebecca Osan has a weird squiggly under the S.
Uh, yeah, I've seen that squiggly. I'm like, how you get that tight?
It's through a special keyboard. So I'm actually a first generation American. Both of my parents are from Romania. So it's actually from a Romanian keyboard.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your time.
Thank you
And
so much for having me.
yeah, and we got to do this again at some point later.
Sounds good.